Hi, students. How are you doing? Welcome to Sim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So, quick one. There is this video making wave on TikTok. A black content creator made a video. He's actually someone you know here. He talked about the United States is a dictatorship, right? So, guess what? This video, it's all over TikTok, and it has made about 21 point something million views and 4 point something million likes and about 100 and something comments. Guess what? The video actually they are trying so hard to censor the video. You cannot even share it. When you try sharing it, to be showing you a warning sign. Like, are you sure of the source? That is what it will be showing. And like it's completely being censored, but still people are viewing it. So other content creators, white content creators, decided to do the same video, talk the same thing he said. And guess what? It's not being censored. So quick one, let me continue. So now I am going to ask, how come United States, with everything going on and the Supreme Court are blocking some orders that the president, especially this majority of the policies that were signed and all that the Supreme Court blocked, how come that the president is not honoring those orders? Because at this point in time, it shows that it is no longer democracy, it is autocratic government, because now the ruler has more power than the Supreme Court. You know what? Let's get into this video.
It is a dictatorship, and there's not much we can do about it right now. Let's just fucking be honest. All of these alarm bells are ringing. Federal court judge blocks this, but all this shit is still happening. Why? Where? In what type of society does that happen? A dictatorship. It's not pre-dictatorship. It's not up and coming. It's here, real time. You know why we're seeing so much extreme shit on a day-to-day basis? Because everybody who is on board with the Trump administration that has power in the government, whether it be local, state, or federal, right? They feel so empowered now to move forward with their extreme views that they have historically had to harbor away or hide away, given the current administration or the current obstacles in the way. But now that they feel like it's the wild, wild west, that's why we see all of this extreme shit. That fucking senator just said, oh, well, everybody dies. We're going to cut Medicaid except for the eligible because, oh, everybody dies. Fuck them. Okay, then go die. Since death is just such a throw up light thing, go die. Everybody dies, go die. She doesn't want death, but when you cut Medicaid for people, then everybody dies. You know how fucking extreme that is? They're trying to float bills that will ban books. I don't know how the fuck anybody calls Donald Trump a strong man when he can't take criticism for fucking shit. Explain how these tariffs are gonna help us. Explain how your economy has been the best ever when the numbers don't line up with that at all. Give us some real evidence about the white genocide in South Africa. Bring your fucking pocket junkie Elon Musk before Congress. What the fuck do you mean that some unelected billionaire never stood before Congress, never fucking got elected, nothing fucking bullshit? Goes in under this Doge shit, goes through all of our personal information, doing ketamine on the daily, and other uppers, downers, I don't know, whatever the fuck. So basically, you let a rich drug addict run through our personal information that nobody voted for in a democracy, and nothing happened to him. He is a free man right now. It's a dictatorship. It's not it's not upcoming, it's here. A unanimous Supreme Court decision. Go get Kilmar. Is he here? They said we're going after the worst of the worst criminals. We're going to get them all out of here. And then they revoke people with legal status. And then they have ICE agents waiting at courthouses for people going through the legal process. Do people going through the legal process sound like the worst of the worst fucking criminals to you? It is a dictatorship. Congress? Are you fucking kidding me? We don't have a fucking Congress. I am yet to be able to make a fucking video about my opinion of Caroline Levitt because I get so fucking upset. I can't stand that bitch. You know why I think Obama is 10 million times the man Donald Trump could ever be. Because when there were hecklers at his rallies or his speeches or people that interrupted, he said, hey, freedom of speech is a thing here and we respect it. Let them yell. Let them shout. He always said, don't boo, vote. He let them use their freedom of speech, even if it was in a negative way, even if it was criticizing him. You can't tell Donald Trump shit. It's just incredible to me that people will support a man who immediately turns into this little crybaby when you present him with facts that are contradictory to his delusion that he's the greatest thing that ever happened to America. I have the greatest economy ever. The bad parts are Biden, the good parts are me. They present him with facts. I don't hate you, Donald. These are just the facts. He says, fake reporter, you're terrible. Your network is terrible. You should be investigated, yada, yada, yada. That's not strength. That's straight pussy shit. I just saw some MAGA motherfucker talk about Democrats are babies, like we've been crying about a fake election for the last 5 years. In counting. You know who fucking whines and bitches and moans about the rules when they lose? Babies, children. What the fuck are we talking about? The leftist lunatics? Which leftist lunatic Democrat stormed the Capitol in January of this year? And that's not even hating either side. That's just the facts. You can't look at both sides and call the left the lunatics when in 2021, the right stormed the fucking Capitol. What the fuck are we talking about? You cannot call the Democrats babies when you all have been crying and bitching about the 2020 election to this day. Trump is still talking about Biden to this day, in present time. He just floated and endorsed and whatever the fuck this conspiracy about Biden being executed and it being behind him being a robot. Move the fuck on. They were talking about, oh, it's going to be a fake election. It was a rigged election just before the November election in 2024. And then when he won, that got cut off. They shut the fuck up because when they win, it can't possibly be rigged. It's what the American people wanted, even though it was a damn near 50-50 popular vote. It has gotten to a point where it genuinely does not matter if you're on the right, left, Republican, Democrat. It just should be a collective, universal, unanimous, what the fuck is this? And the answer to that is, it is a dictatorship. And it's sad. And it's fucking sad. So Elon Musk went through all of our data this year and then decided to leave. And I'm supposed to believe that the 2028 election is just going to be free and fair. They've already mentioned how he had his hand in the voting computers and shit like that. And y'all gave him, 4+ months to do whatever the fuck to everything. And then he just disappears and that's his tenure. Nothing happened. The 2028 election is going to be a fucking shit show.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but this is the real reason, in my opinion. TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. But in my opinion, this is why they shut down JobCore, right? For this reason. The U.S. majority will soon disappear forever. Caucasians in America are going extinct. Caucasians in America, right, their death rates are increasing and their birth rates are decreasing, right? And so this is why I believe that they basically ended the funding to Job Corps, because their control over our world is dwindling. And so they want those same people that are go to Job Corps to join the military. But you see, it's a lot of us, black and brown, that are rejecting the military. If you notice, there's a lot of black people who were in the military who got out. And though a lot of black people aren't going into the military. So when you realize that the military has a lot of control over the black people who enlist in the military, because now you're under the control over America. America is in control over you. The government controls you. And so when you have all of us delisting from the military, right, and you have the Caucasian population dwindling down, right, you'll realize that it's slowly turning to a new America, or should I say back to the ways of old. And so the reason why this is significant is because one thing you have to realize, these young niggas nowadays don't give a fuck about a draft. And if you try to create a situation, create politics to force a draft, you're going to realize that it's a lot of people who ain't going to show up. And you can't jail millions and millions of people who turn their backs. So you have to find another way. Remember, the black people are the majority. This is why they need us to vote. This is why they need us to join the army. They can't do shit without us. So when you're talking about defending the country, there's no defending shit when we're not front line within our masses. And so, them young niggas don't give a fuck about a draft. There's not enough jails or prisons to be able to arrest all those people who neglect the draft. But yeah, this was a government move to try to force you to make the option to join the army, since now they can't force you to. Because if they try to force black Americans, they could start a civil, and that's not going to be in their best interest. So they have to convince you and trick you to join them. But what's going to happen is America is going to bite off more than they can chew, because they don't realize that it's our representation, which is why we are a superpower or a world power in the beginning with the military. You take all the black people out of the military in America, and what do you have left to fight? You see the declining white population. So if we don't join the army, they have nothing. And so they're trying to hurt our pockets, and they're trying to get the younger ones to join the military, but that is not going to happen. And so now the Europeans who run America, because it's not black Americans, original Americans who run America, it's Europeans. So they're going to have to back up their own shit now. Now they can't talk their shit to the world, because now we ain't backing them up no more. Now they can't boast about their military and their guns and all that shit, because we're not going to be piloting the planes and flying and shooting shit. Y'all going to have to do that shit yourselves. And now they're going to have to come to the harsh reality that black Americans aren't European, and that we don't flow to the flute of the music that y'all play anymore. And them ending JobCore is going to fall on their head, is because even after you took JobCore away and those people are still not joining the military, what are you going to do then when you got to defend the same country that you help exploit? We are going to sit back and watch y'all shit on yourselves. And when the mess is over, that's when the black Americans is going to pick up the reins, and we're going to make America great again. And then I also have a theory that if they do try to force people to go into the military and no one budges, and then they try to use the military or the police to try to enforce said issue, then I can bet my last dollar that the police and the military will be dismantled in America. Because if the majority, which is the black Americans, decide to step back and turn away from the politics, the government, and European America, they will have nothing to enforce their laws. They will have nothing to enforce them to make you do what they want you to do. And ultimately, this is going to be their demise because they're pump faking the control, how a low percentage of people can control the vast majority, that is breaking. And when they're going to keep pump faking you until the point where you realize that, hey, we are the majority. And all the thing that you're doing is crashing out because you know that your timeline is coming to an end. And I encourage my black and brown brothers and guys and goddesses out there not to join the military. For what? Let them battle the curses that they brought upon themselves. You joining the military, only thing that's going to do is curse you. Because the Most High has already got you protected, especially if you living in the land of America. This is the promised land. So you have to have faith to know that you are going to be protected. But them that's trying to get you to join the military, oh, their ass is grass and they know their time is up.
This is all I got from this video. And now let me tell you something. You know, this the first person that started the video, his name is his handle is Long Live Judah. And to my greatest surprise, this video, he made this video, I think about 2 days ago or a day ago, if I am not mistaken, 3 days ago, 3 days ago, right? And this video, before I could view this video, they were like, first of all, they were like, this video is being censored heavily. And before you can share the video, it will say, check your sources before sharing. And it was like, it will show like a censorship on it. So you know what? Why people, like a lot of people, because like the video got how many million views? 24.1 million views, right? And trust me, the comment, the likes, like 4 point something million likes. The comment section is like about 100 and something thousand comments, right? That is to tell you that it is a heavy video. So a lot of people are saying that they could not share the video, and when they want to share the video, it will bring you like, it will show you like a warning sign. So a white man also decided to make the exact video he made. Like a lot of white people tried it to make the same exact video and posted it. Other people tried sharing it, and guess what? It was okay. But a black man made this video and people could not share. People shared, people reposted, but it was censored heavily. And the comment section will also tell you, because a lot of people are experiencing the same thing. So now I am sure everybody already know the country you all are living in. A country that is built on everything. Yes, I said what I said. And the fact that this man is still the president is something that I do not understand. I mean, whatever that is happening now shows that there are people that can do some certain things and get away with it. There are some people that cannot do some. There are some people that cannot do some certain. That can do some certain things and not get away with it. Right? That is how the judiciary system is. Because tell me how the court has given so many orders to stop so many things, but that thing still continues. I thought you all said that you are operating on what? Democracy. So where is the democracy? You know, sometimes when I try to talk with my friends about American politics, American racism, guess what I tell them? I tell them that when it comes to politics, America is as horrible as Nigerian politics and other countries' politics. There is a particular country that I know so well that I want to tell you about their politics, but I just have to keep quiet for now. Why? Because what is happening in other countries, like, are happening also in United States. But then they made us feel like they do not have all these things, or it is not happening in their country, or their country is free from all this corruption. It is a democracy. It is practicing democracy and all that. But no, it is autocracy. I am sorry to say this, but that is true. There is nothing like democracy about United States. And how did I found out when I started following Black history. Because Black history will actually connect you to literally everything about United States. That's why when I say Black history is American history, but politics and otherwise, that is what it is. The only thing is that Nigerian refuse to develop their country, or should I say they refuse to develop? It is developing, but they have used corruption to kill themselves. And they have also allowed the Western world to use them finish. Because at this point in time, it is not it is not Nigerian. It is like Nigerian for the Western world. Who is allowing all this? The government, which I also understand. But I will digress at this one. Let me continue. I am sure majority of you saw the JobCore and other things like that is being taken away, and they say it is temporary. I brought a video. But how temporary is that? How long is temporary and how long is permanent? At this point in time, nobody knows when it will come back. But I have also taken time, I know I made video on that, but I have taken time also to talk, search around why all of a sudden they are taking away JobCore. They found out that they want my own people to get into military. And I saw not just a girl, a lot of them screaming. The worst thing that will happen to you as a Black person is to get into, yes, the worst thing that will happen to you as someone that is to get into military. Some people use that opportunity to get away from some certain things, maybe like housing. A lot. I know people get away, okay, I don't have any other thing to do. Let me just join military. But I know it is not also a good idea. But I am not saying people shouldn't do it, but I am just saying, right? Because in the end, it is thank you so much for your services. Some people will come back with PTSD. Some people will come back with one arm. Some may end up not coming back. See, what the other brother said about the decline in birth rate is actually true. Because you all remember during the election, they tried campaigning for having more kids. For those that remember. And JD Vance, they turned on JD Vance because because they are trying to, according to them, it's to preserve the race. And you know that JD Vance's wife is Indian. And their names are also Indian. So they were asking, how do you want to preserve the white race when you got married to an Asian woman, an Indian woman with Indian names? So how do you want to save the race? I don't know, some of you remember this. But yeah, there is decline, which means if this decline continues, you know what will happen? There will be reduction in, which is what they are fighting so hard.